The morning smelled of dusty sunlight and quiet disappointment. Zareen placed 2 cups of tea on the wooden table, just as she had done for 20 years, though 1 cup had always remained untouched. Her son, Daniel, rarely came home now. Work, he often said. Friends. Stress. But that morning he arrived early, wearing a smile that didn't belong to him. "Ummi, I have a surprise for you today." Surprise. The word felt too bright, too heavy, as if dipped in fake honey. But a mother's heart hopes even when hope is cracked. He helped her into the car, shut the door with a soft thud, and drove. Highways turned to narrow roads turned to dirt paths, and then silence. A wide wilderness spread out like a sleeping giant. Pines rose like spires, birds circled the sky, and the air tasted of forgotten stories. Daniel stopped the car near a broken shack, standing crookedly against the wind. "This is your birthday gift, Ummi," he said, avoiding her eyes. You will live here now." Her breath paused. Just paused. Not anger, not shock. Just a small, tired exhale, as if something inside her had always known this day would arrive. She stepped out, the ground cold beneath her slippers. When she turned around, Daniel was already in the car, engine on, eyes lowered. "Take care of yourself," he whispered, though the whisper sounded like a lie. The car reversed, then vanished into the trees. A mother stood alone at 63, abandoned like old furniture, left to fade, left to break, left to end. But endings misunderstand life. Life often bends toward rebirth when everyone expects burial.
The shack seemed stitched together by rusted nails and stubborn hope. Broken windows, half a roof, dust swirling like tiny ghosts. Zareen walked inside. A single chair, a torn mattress, a wooden crate pretending to be a table. Her hands trembled, not from fear. Fear was a luxury of youth. Her tremble came from the sudden silence created when a child stops needing you. She sat on the chair. Pain pressed against her chest. She clutched her dupatta, waiting for tears, waiting for breaking. But instead, a strange calm arrived. Like the wilderness, inhaled her sorrow and exhaled a quiet strength. Outside, the wind shifted the trees like giant pages turning in a cosmic storybook. Birds sang a chorus she hadn't heard in years. Nature didn't pity her. Nature welcomed her. She whispered to herself, "Maybe this is not where life ends. Maybe this is where I meet myself." Chapter 3. Fire, Water, and the Wolf. The first night carried teeth. Cold teeth. Fear teeth. Memories with jagged edges. Zareen shivered alone inside the shack, listening to wolves howl like echoes of forgotten grief. She curled up, hugging herself, warmth pressed against her own ribs like a stubborn flame refusing to die. Morning found her alive. Barely, but alive. She learned to gather wood. She learned to spark fire with stones, her fingers bruised but determined. She learned to cook wild herbs in a rusted pot. She learned to walk the forest paths without losing her breath. Every day tore a piece of the old Zareen away. Every day carved a newer, fiercer woman. One evening, she met a wolf. It wasn't a monster. It wasn't hungry for her fear. It simply stared, its eyes golden, ancient, curious. It stood outside her shack for a long time. Not threatening, not gentle, just present. Zareen whispered, "Everyone leaves. If you want to stay, stay. If you want to go, go." The wolf blinked, lowered its head, and walked away, not rejecting her, not claiming her. That day, she realized presence is a gift only wilderness knows how to give.
Months passed like river stones polishing her spirit. Her hair, once dyed carefully, now flowed silver. Her skin, once softened by routine, now shone with sun-kissed resilience. Her eyes, once tired, now carried the fierce stillness of mountains. She built new walls for the shack, repaired the roof, planted herbs, collected rainwater, learned constellations, learned silence, learned peace. People from a nearby small village began to notice smoke rising from the haunted wilderness. Children came first, curious like sparrows. Then women, seeking herbs and homemade ointments. Her healing touch, once used only for one ungrateful son, now belonged to many. They began calling her Daddy of the Forest, a title born from respect, not blood. One afternoon, after nearly 2 years, Daniel arrived. Not with love, not with regret, but with desperation. His business had collapsed, his debts grown sharp, his friends had evaporated like illusions at sunrise. He had come to the wilderness seeking the mother he once threw away. He found her standing tall outside the shack, a basket of herbs in hand. Stronger, healthier, radiant with the kind of peace no city could afford. "Hami," his voice cracked like a weak branch, "I came to take you home." Zareen looked at him, not with anger, not with softness, with clarity. "Beta, I'm already home." He fell to his knees, the weight of his choices pressing his spine, tears carving down his cheeks. He begged, he cried, he apologized. Zareen placed a hand on his head. Forgiveness flowed, gentle but without surrender. "I don't hate you, but I will not return to a life where I was invisible. You left me here to end, but this is where life began." Her voice carried no bitterness, only truth.